All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. Let me get some things set up here as everybody comes in that's going to join us tonight. Running a little bit behind on this, but I was getting some notes put together. And hopefully there will be some of you that will find this to be of interest, and that will help you potentially locate the job that you might be searching for, and all that good stuff. So give me a second. I'm going to be pulling up the chat. Hopefully here, let's get it over here where I can get into the chat. That way I can look at questions when I go to take questions. Before I get started, I'll be sure to say hello to everybody that we have, and then I will go on to my speaking about the resume and cover letter, and then I'll take questions if anybody has any about that. Otherwise, after that, we'll just hang out and talk and all that good stuff. So let's see here. Getting the chat pulled up now. Okay. All right, there we go. And we got 2 in so far watching. Okay. I almost put it over to my TV. I don't want to do that. Okay, and we'll pause so that is not echoing in my ear. All right, we've got RP in here tonight. Hello, RP. King Taco. Mike's Food Review. Hello, Mike. Hopefully you're doing good, bud. Luxury. Hello. Good to see you. Appreciate you guys dropping in the show, your support on this. And I hope that, I know that there's going to be, a set number of people that's going to watch this at a later time. They might not be with us tonight. People that I know in the professional side of things through criminal justice and all that, because they're wanting to get what notes they can about resumes and cover letters. So I'd like to wait a little bit before I get started, though, to at least make sure we've got a decent little crowd here, if all possible. And we got 9 in so far, so that's, always good to see the numbers go up. But, I know I used to not think that cover letters and resumes was really that big of a deal for the longest time. Like, even when I was even older, I just never thought much about it. I'm like, hey, if they're, if they give me an application, I'll just fill it out and that's that. And obviously whatever you put on that application, that matters too, right? Not just, well, it's just an application, who cares? I mean, all of it matters, but I never realized the seriousness of a resume and how much a difference that can make on you getting the job, on your even your first time impressions and all that stuff, but I know now how important it is. So at least I know, right? And at the end of this, when I go to do my, question, if anybody's got questions, if anybody else is also familiar with this stuff, please feel free to, drop in and give your thoughts on things as well. The more the merrier. So let's check. Because I don't claim, obviously to be perfect and, oh, well, I know it all and no one else does. That's just, I don't roll that way. And I've got my resume pulled up in front of me. So I'm going to be kind of speaking about that. And then I'm also going to have a resume template available. I will have our manager put that up on the site a little bit later. So those of you that are good at following, uh, templates to where pretty much it tells you what goes where, where your name goes and where this reference goes and your introduction and yada yada yada, right? So I know me, I love templates because they do help out a lot, right? So okay, let me take a look here. See who else we got. We got Heat Streak. Hello, Heat Streak. Thank you for joining us tonight. Reaper Man, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. It's good to see all you guys. And thank you for deleting the nonsense. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I appreciate it. You guys do such a great job. My mods do, the loungers, you guys do a great job as far as, being supportive. And I'm just really thankful for all that. So the first thing we'll talk about before the resume is your cover letter. Real easy to do. And it says a lot about you, to be honest. So basically, your cover letter is a way for you to communicate with the employer to where maybe you've got certain, things that they need to know about you. Good example, myself being visually impaired. I am putting in for a job that there are areas in that same building that would never be available for me due to my vision, right? So, because of that, and because of me being visually impaired, I want the employer to know that. I want them to know that I am visually impaired and that I, have certain things that I can and cannot do. That way, I'm not going in the front door and giving them some unexpected accident or something. Them say, well, come on over here and try this, John. Now they're going to know to not take me to that area because I'm visually impaired and I might get hurt, right? It is a really good way to talk about the things that are most important when it comes to you. There's nothing fancy about it. You put your name at the top and then you go down a couple lines and you're going to put to whom this may concern or dear Mr. Myers or, however you want to open that up with. That would be professional. And you are going to write just like you're writing a letter. If you can write a letter, you can write a cover letter. In your letter, you're going to talk about the things that you think they need to know. You know, in mine, it lets them know that I'm visually impaired. Now, you don't got to go into real depth about your situation, just enough of what they need to know. So you look at it and you say, well, how much, okay, they need to know this much. Because now think about it. You're going to be more comfortable going in for orientation if they call you because they done know your situation. And let's face it, anybody that, would have any type of disabilities like myself, it's not always easy walking into a job and having to, explain all that stuff over and over. Cover letter does it for you, right? You can explain that. And you don't got to have like 2 paragraphs long about your disability or what you cannot do. The other thing that the cover letter is going to do is you're going to let them know what your skills are for that job. This cover letter is specifically to that employer and about that employer, right? So, say you was putting in at a car lot to sell cars. On that cover letter, you're going to talk about your skills to sell cars. You're going to say, you know, I worked for such and such for 5 years selling cars. And in my time of being there, I was selling 3 cars a week. You know, just talk about your skills a little bit. Don't do too much, just a little, just enough so they know that you're qualified, because that's what you want. You want to let them know that you are qualified for that job and that you can do it. So it's really, really simple, to be honest. And I'm going to just tell you this. Don't make your cover letter 2 pages long, okay? Just a cover letter with maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs, and that's it, right? So again, start your cover letter out. Talk about you a little bit, not too much. Talk a little bit about you, what your concern is or what you want them to know. Talk about your skills and talk about why you feel you are best fit for that job, right? It's a good way to communicate, guys. Cover letters are so important. So important. And as I'm looking for a job, which I am, by the way, I'm wanting to work 30 to 40 hours a week while I'm in college. I know it sounds like a lot, but I am a very, I guess you could say, motivated. So, like, I don't like sitting around doing nothing. I've always got to be doing something. Always. Like, even if I'm sitting at, you know, at the table and I sit there too long, I'll start fiddling with stuff because I've always got to be doing something. It's just you know, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's just me. It's just who I am. And I'm, you know, obviously I'm about getting the job. Whoa, what just fell? I don't want that. Sorry, I just had this bottle fall and I don't even know where it came from. Okay, so let me close that. I don't know what happened there. Whoa. Okay. Phew. Anyways, cover letter is like the heart of your whole application, everything, right? Because it's a good way for you to communicate with them from on a personal level, right? Talking about you and them and the job and your skills and all that stuff. Before I do move on though to the resume, I just want to ask if anybody in here tonight has any questions about a cover letter. If you do, please feel free to go ahead and ask your questions about it. Bluewings, welcome. Thank you for joining tonight. I appreciate it, dear, as always. Jeffrey, welcome back, my friend. If I believe you're the same Jeff that called us on Sunday. Welcome back, Jeff. Good to have you, brother.
I remember the first time I saw you in underwear. Didn't last long, as I recall.
All right. You are going to be.
All right, let's see here. Just going through my stuff here real quick, guys.
We're going to keep it professional.
All right.
That's a profession I intend to enjoy. And you will too.
Checking the messages, guys.
Are you going to coach me?
No need. You'll be a natural.
So if nobody's got no questions about the cover letter, I'll go ahead and start speaking about. Oh, okay, Bluewings. I wasn't for sure which Jeff it was. Sorry about that, Jeff. But either way, welcome to the lounge, and definitely glad to have you, my friend. You know, kind of got my attention though, Jeff, when you said you hated resumes, because I used to hate them too. But to be honest, once you learn the pattern on exactly how a resume is rolled out, there really is no profession to it. You know what I mean? Once you learn it and get that in your head as far as the order and where you put everything, really not that bad. Not that bad at all. Um, and again, I'm going to be sending Bluewings a copy of a resume template that I'm going to be having her put on the page, or a link rather, and you guys can go there and download it or whatever, if you need one. Which, to be honest, any of the templates like that will work. I mean, there's all kinds of resume templates you can get. So you could even Google, really. I mean, probably that'd be even easier because they're real simple to use when you download those, because it's got all the information. But anyways, I still want to talk about it a little bit in case you want to write your own and learn on your own. I'm about learning. Okay. I learned how to write resumes, and I've even had some refresh tips on stuff as well in college. So, today I know how important it is.
I'm sure you haven't dressed the hand, so this is a big hit for you, wasn't it? What, Steffi?
Okay, there it is. I just wanted to get on the right window here.
My daughter.
Come on.
You destroyed her marriage. Didn't do it yourself, did you?
And here's the thing about resumes. Let's say that you have no jobs, right? Well, then your or you've never really worked. Well, then your resume is not going to be that big, okay? But if you add a little bit of detailed information about you, you can at least have a resume that looks good and that has good information. Some people will say, well, what do you need a resume if I've never worked? Well, you can still make that resume look just as good as somebody's that has 5 different jobs that they list on their resume, right? So always important. The first thing on your resume, you are going to be putting your name, your address, and your address goes all on one line. Your entire address. So your street, your city, your state, and your zip code, all one line. The next line is going to be your phone number, right? The next line after that's going to be your email address, which if you don't have one, then I guess you don't have one, but it's always good to have one. That way they can contact you through email as well if they need to. And then after that, under that line, you can even put, if you have it, you can put like a LinkedIn address that, LinkedIn is very, very popular. A lot of people use it for jobs and stuff, as far as even showing their connections and things they've been involved in. LinkedIn is kind of like a reference guide as well, because you put everything about you on LinkedIn, where you've studied, what all it's just, you guys know what it is. But so if you have that, put your LinkedIn address underneath your email address. Then when you open up your resume, the very first thing you want to do is your summary. In your summary, you're going to talk about currently what you are doing and what you are seeking. So, for example, for me, it's got here about being a business owner and a current criminal justice student, seeking opportunities in probation, because that's and of course other educational opportunities in the criminal justice field, right? that's pretty much uh, what I put on mine as far as, because you're not going to have like 5 paragraphs under your summary. It's just you're just letting them know currently what is going on with you right now. Are you in college, or you know are you working somewhere else? If you are, where are you working? What are you doing? What is your job, right? And then of course what your goal is, you know, at that job or at that school, and so on, right? Um, the next thing after that, you're going to be doing your qualifications and skills, okay? Which is actually on my resume. I've got it labeled as qualifications slash skills. And you're actually going to write that too. You're not going to just put that stuff. You're going to write qualifications slash skills and then list that information below it. So, uh, as an example, the first thing on mine is leadership. The next thing after that is public speaking. If a lot of you that know me, of course, you guys know I went through public speaking and did all that. Um, Program development. That's another thing. That's on mine. Coaching is on mine, and so that's all you're going to put though is just your skills. So whatever your skills are, you're going to list them on there. Don't put them all on the same line. Each skill on its own line. Okay. Like on mine, like I said, I've got leadership on one line, public speaking on the next line, program development on the next line, coaching on the next line, and etc. Okay. After that, you'll go down a little bit more, and you're going to put the word education, right? You'll write education, and now under that is where you're going to put all of your education information. So, where you went to school, where you graduated, um, anything to do with education, that is where you're going to put it, right? So, like on mine, for example, um, you want to put the most recent, for education, what the last thing was. So, you know, the most recent first, and then the you know, and you just go down the list, and you're going to put them all in their own line again. So, like for example, mine, the first line of mine is talking about college, and it even puts beside, showing that I'm still in college. Um, and when you put where you're going or where you went or whatever, the line after that, you're going to put what you did there, right? So if you're putting, you went to college, you're going to put where you went and let it be known if you're still in college or not, right? Either uh, you're graduated or you're still going. Um, and you want to put what your degree was and when you graduated, or, if you're not graduated, put at least a date when expected to graduate, right? And if you've got more than one thing that you've done in the education area, kind of separate them a little bit, right? So after you put your first bit of information, go down a couple lines and then start your next bit of information. For example, when I went to Washington State, so I've got that on there. I put on there why I went there, what I did, what the education was out there. And then I went down in another area and I put where I got my high school diploma, and, what all did I learn there? Because these days you can learn more in school than just general studies. You can even learn small motors, stuff like that. So be, you know, clear about each one of them. What you did at that school or for that education, right? Just be really clear about everything. Um, the next thing after you do education is going to be experience. Experience is very important, guys. If you want them to look at your resume and have interest, put your experience. Now, don't say, well, what if I have no experience? Well, you can say it, but I'm going to tell you that that's not going to kick you down if you have no experience, because you're going to buy them in your cover letter. Okay. That is where you're going to get their attention if you have no experience anywhere else. Get their attention in that cover letter to make up for not having nothing under experience. Okay. I know it might sound crazy, but I promise you, cover letter is the heart of that right there. It really is. But if you have experience, again, information on its own lines, right? I've got mine's got a lot of information because obviously for what I've done, where I worked at a factory before, what I did there, um, information about the blind community and what all I did with that and what I'm doing with that. Um, talk about when you do your experiences, make sure you are clear about each one of them. For example, when I put blind community on mine with the date and all that, below that, I made sure I let them know that I assisted the blind community in my local area as well as nationwide, because obviously on the internet, I've dealt with people all over the place, right? But I'm very clear about that. Like, I'm letting them know every little bit of detail that I can. Um, let's see. I'm still going through my experiences, like when I did the janitorial managing and all that. I talked about that. Uh, I put on there how I train people, how I was promoted to management, how I train people with disabilities. Um, all that stuff matters. So be very clear about it. And any little thing, even if you don't think it's that big of a deal, put it down because it might mean a lot to them. Okay. Okay, so the next thing, sorry, I'm just going through my notes. I'm just going through here. Hold on. Okay, going down. Okay, the next set of information you're going to put on your resume is your accomplishments, right? You want to talk about every little accomplishment that you have completed. And I'm being serious, even if it's something you think that really isn't that big of an accomplishment, put it down, okay? For example, I was in the student spotlight at my college, okay, back in the spring. That is an accomplishment. So that is on my resume. I was also graduated the Leadership Academy, right? That was back in the matter of fact, my very first year at college. You guys probably remember me talking about that because I got a silver medallion um, for graduation. That is on there too, right? Um, My janitorial training, that's an accomplishment. So put every little accomplishment that you have completed. It matters. Now we're almost done. You got one area of information left, and that is your references. Okay? You can have as many as you want. If you've only got 2 references, then you only got 2 references, but make them good, right? Make sure you're leaving references that they can contact and that will, you know, speak for you, obviously. Um, but that is it. Put your references and you're done. Listen, I'm going to promise you one thing. You will mess up on your resume the first few times you do it. You will find errors. You will find mess ups. You will find things that you can do better. This is not about being perfect. It's just about learning it and finally getting it, right? And you will get it. I didn't think I would get it. I mean, I got it, right? So be positive about it. Um, you'll get through it. I am going to be sending, and as a matter of fact, Bluewings, if you want, you can even locate a page that has those templates and just put the link on our page. I'm not sure where you'll put it, but I'm sure you'll find a good a way. Just whatever you think is best, Bluewings, put it on our page so they can locate it easy. Maybe put it under careers. So create a category on our website, Bluewings, that's labeled careers, and put the link under careers, under the careers page, right? So guys, give her a little time to work on that because she is a busy person. But we'll put a page together that's going to be titled careers. So you'll be able to go to the homepage, loungingwithjohn.com, look for the link that says careers, and anything to do with resumes, job searching, or any of that stuff will be on the careers page. Okay. I've not looked at chat yet. Before I end about references, let me also add that you can even add your personal references. Okay. You want to obviously leave references for jobs you've done, but also leave personal ones. That way they can also contact a personal reference and say, what do you know about this girl or about this guy, right? So I don't think it's that bad to learn. It took me a little while, a couple weeks to get it all down and to where I could just sit down and just write it. But once you study it a few times and write it a few times, you'll get it. So I'm going to go now to chat, look over the chat, and also allow you guys to ask any questions. If you've got any questions, that's what I'm here for. That's what I did this one tonight for, was to help any of you that might be wanting to have a resume, or maybe you've got questions. The board is yours, my friends. So if you got questions, go for it. And I'm looking at it now. All right. Just looking at the chat, I'm guessing we had some troll stuff going on there, but that's all right. It happens, I guess. Hello, Amber. Hello, Savage. Savage, it's good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Thank you for jumping in and supporting, brother. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. Amber, it's good to see you back online. You got your internet back, I'm guessing, so it's really good to see you as well, dear. I hope all is going well for you.
I'm just representing my client. It's business.
Jerry, I know that's just business too.
My goodness, Minnesota wife strength. My gosh. Let's see.
All right. You want to know the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Joanna, your mother was a mess.
Don't you pin this on us?
That's the truth.
You cheated.
Yes. Cheated. I cheated.
Let's see.
Which one are you talking about?
Jeremy Lynn.
Still looking, guys.
Jeremy was there for me. When we were together, everything was simple. It felt like love. It wasn't. It was a mistake.
You had so many chances to tell me the truth.
I was ashamed. I was ashamed.
The first honest thing I heard from you.
Joanna.
All right, let's see here. Still reading, guys. I'm seeing all the ridiculous trolls that pop in, but you know what? Immature people with sad lives. Sad lives. Let's see. Cooks, welcome. That's a new name. I didn't recognize that, but welcome.
Next time I'll go with quinoa.
All right, let's see.
Thinking about Taylor again? It just keeps playing over and over in my head. When she collapsed, I didn't even know if she was still alive.
Oh,
And all I could think about was, what if this happens to me? How selfish is that?
let me see if I can.
Selfish. Just honest. I'm so tired. And I'm totally at the mercy of this thing. At any time, that could happen to me. We're not in control of even this. But we can choose how we're going to fight it.
There we go. Just taking care of something here, guys.
I'm going to defer school until January. No, you don't have to do that. I want to.
Well, come on.
We'll weather the storm together. In our houseboat.
I wish you would have called. You called me, remember?
Come on.
To end this.
Sorry, guys.
Wave my hand and make this go away. Oh no, I just did.
There we go.
Both already knew about this.
Just taking care of some stuff here. Sorry, guys.
Thanks, John. Taking us this far. I'll take it from here. It's unnecessary. I've already done it. Alan.
Let's see.
We have a reputation to
Hey, guys, also remember that when they are leaving these horrible comments, you can also report it. That's what I was just doing, was reporting these guys, because there's no need for that. Which, you know, topic for another time, but it's a very interesting topic, and it don't got to do with drama or nothing, but well, we'll talk about it another time. Let's see what this one is.
Yeah, team used to go there sometimes after a win. Bring Slurpees, toss stones in the river. I'm not safe here. Standing on that bridge.
Okay.
I will be there right beside you.
Okay. There we go. Now let me get back to the chat, guys. Sorry about that. All right, let's see.
Friday, I got one fucking 9:45 to fucking 6:45. I'm pretty sure. That's the whole fucking shit. Yeah, we're back there and no, I was cash. For sure, I'm cash. Yeah, 9:45 to fucking 6:45.
Well, I said in it, Bluewings, that I was going to go through the chat and stuff. So no, we're not going to stop yet. because I'm waiting to make sure no one comes in with questions. So, which you missed that part because I don't think you was here at the very beginning. But yeah, we'll stop after I give it a few minutes to make sure nobody's got questions about it. As far as the other stuff, that's, you know, you guys are taking care of that, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, so I'm going to come back on, guys, because yeah, it works out better because this is specifically for the resume and cover letter. It doesn't seem there's any questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this live and I'm going to start up another one, but that way we can just hang out. Anybody that has any questions about a cover letter, about a resume, anything to do with careers or anything like that, please check the description a little bit later, and we will have a link in there for you that will direct you to where you can find some free templates and stuff that'll help you write your cover letters and so on. Bluewings, thank you for reminding me about that because, you know, that's what you're good at. And everybody else, stick around. We're going to go live again, but we're going to end the resumes and cover letter stream here. And yeah, we'll pick it back up here in a few minutes. All right, I'll be back.